Despite the fact that he's widely drawn, they have a good run from behind the hill before they reach the first turn, and that will probably help Richard Mullen offset the number 14 gate. Here's Atomic Age coming up. Atomic Age walking up into the line. He's ridden by Royston French. Now Free Hand and Light Foot awaiting their turns. Light Foot, visored, walks up into the gate. Earl of Carrick with the white cap, On War with the green cap. Quite a deal of maroon and white being carried in this Newbury Racecourse maiden race. Petty Officer about to move forward. Xavier Ziani with an orange cap. And here's Isometric. Carlos Sanchez with a blue cap. A 1950 metre start, of course, hidden from the stands by the hill in the centre of the course. As Isometric goes into gate number 16 on the outside, and they look ready to run for the second of the day. Racing, Petty Officer out wide, a little slow to go. Earl of Carrick dropped back after the break, and Man in the Sky with the green cap not showing a great deal of pace. Light Foot came out very quickly. Light Show began well, and Extraverted is third on the outside of Morahin, followed by Petty Officer, the orange cap out deep, and Isometric, the blue cap, is even wider out. Atomic Age is settling behind the pace. Earth Tour, the pink cap in the middle, followed further back by Man in the Sky, Brave Mambo, and Free Hand is amongst the cap catchers as they make their way towards the back bend. Gunboat is a long way back. He's last of the main group, and Madawi has become detached. He's 100 metres away. At the tail of the field as Light Show leads them out of the back. Short of 1,200 to go. Light Show in front of Light Foot on the outside. Only a neck between them. Followed by Extraverted, yellow cap on the rail, then Isometric, and between them is Petty Officer, the orange cap, who's a little deeper on the track as they come around the home turn. Earth Tour is the widest runner. Further towards the inside is Earl of Carrick, the white cap, and they're followed by Morahin, who's making some ground. Free Hand is behind them, and well back too is Atomic Age. Madawi and Gunboat is being eased out of it as they're well in the straight. Petty Officer had moved up with 650 metres left to run and gone to the lead from On War, who's now staking his claim, followed deeper on the track by Earth Tour, and then Isometric coming right down the grandstand rail. On War went up to tackle Petty Officer, 250 metres out. On War and Richard Mullen take the lead from Petty Officer. They broke clear of Morahin and Free Hand, and On War is coming away. The cheers suggest he was the pick six favourite, and he'll win well. On War first, Petty Officer second, Free Hand third, then Morahin. Atomic Age followed then by Wellback was Petty Officer, then came Isometric, Man in the Sky. Brave Mambo's finished a long way back. They were followed in by Morrigan, then Earl of Carrick, Wellback Extraverted, followed by Light Show, Madawi, and then came Light Foot and Gunboat as a long last of all. On War, number 14, written by Richard Mullen, has won, and in the end won well. Richard able to ease over the concluding stages. He strode home well clear of Petty Officer, who's run second. Third has gone to Free Hand, and they've come in at long intervals after that. A long way from first to last in the end. So we wait on the numbers to come through. No doubt that On War, number 14, has won. Form suggested he'd be hard to beat after his last start fourth on turf at Abu Dhabi when he was making his debut here in the Emirates. Richard Mullen gave a lead by picking him from the stable's runners, and in the end he has been much too good handling the Jebel Ali dirt very well, but then he'd been placed twice on the all-weather track at Deauville in France. Nothing from the judge as yet, but there's no doubt he's won on War, beating Petty Officer and Freehand, and the numbers should be confirmed shortly.
So the favourite obliges in our maiden. On War runs out the convincing winner. It was an interesting race, plenty to take out of it, as we thought might be the case beforehand. Petty Officer ran a good race, as well as I thought isometric for Abdullah bin Hussein, and Carlos Sanchez was a bit of an eye catcher as well. He ran well for a long time, but in the end this horse has run out the very eye-catching winner indeed on his 6th start, so he's not what you call precocious. And he's a 4-year-old, but Richie Mullen had what we thought was potentially a difficult pick between On War and Earth Tour, but he's got it absolutely right. And the green cap, the colours of His Excellency Sheikh Mansour bin Mohammed Al Maktoum. And another win in maiden company for Satish Seemar following Sandstamp's victory at Maidan last week. And well done to all concerned. This is a potentially nice horse. I like the way that he strode clear up the hill.
Yeah, he stuck on really, really well. I mean, he'd made his debut over 2,400 metres, as Jason probably already alluded to a little bit earlier on. So trip-wise, you could almost say it might have been on the sharp side for him. But however he progressed during the race, you knew he was going to keep going, coming to the line, and also the stiff hill was going to suit him. I mean, hopefully you heard in that interview with Satish that they were very hopeful of a good run from him. They had no reservations about him handling the underfoot conditions. He'd never run on the dirt like this, but he had run twice on the all-weather at Deauville, finishing second on both occasions, over a trip very similar to this of 1,900 metres. But he's got the job done really, really well, and highest rated horse in the race off 85, and done it nicely.
Yes, formerly, as we've heard, trained in France. Andre Fabre trained him, as he did Songcraft and Time Prisoner, that I can think of. So that's 3 ex-Andre Fabre horses to score here.